Hello. So a few days ago, I uploaded a video talking about the Chrono Shield cards. I let it cook for a bit to see what you guys' opinions were on the whole situation, and it seemed like a lot of people ended up disagreeing with me, which was kind of surprising at first, but after rewatching the video, I remember that I was like really critical of it, and I remember at the beginning of the video, I didn't know that it was going to be free, and if they were going to add any more or not, but they ended up tweeting like what basically while I was planning on recording the video that it was going to be free, and I even saw it as I was recording. I looked it up and saw the tweet, and I feel like that I was still a bit emotional. Oh my goodness, what emotionable about the whole situation, and I ended up saying that this was a really bad idea and that this can end up ruining the game, despite seeing what I saw. It will just be the 8 for now. It currently is just the 8 Chrono Shield cards. They're like kind of testing the waters with it. And a lot of people seem to think hey, it's not that big of a deal. It's only 8, which is honestly fine. From Brothers to Gold, helping the new players figure it out is not really a big deal, as long as it is just the 8. If it is, like, that's the thing, is if it gets any worse, like, at what point are we going to say this is an issue? Like, the maximum you can hold is 20. So at some point, we would assume that you can hold at most 20, right? Which is a little worrisome. I feel like 20 games is a lot more than 8, you know? I wonder how many people would be against it then. But it's just the 8 right now, so we don't have to worry about that. Now, there is still the question of, like, the competitive integrity of the whole thing, and whether it's really a good thing to add them at all. But so far, I would agree it's not really that big of a deal. It is just a little worrisome for the future. And I guess the other question is rank inflation, everyone getting to plat really, really easily, good for the game or not? And honestly, I feel like for a lot of games, it's not too hard to get to plat if you play a lot. Mostly because you'll gain more than you lose for a lot of games, unless you are really not doing well at all, and then you will drop. So I feel like it's pretty balanced in that aspect, and honestly, with just the 8, I'm pretty happy. It really is just, if they add more, there could be some pretty big issues. I feel like the only issue is if there are any more of these, like say if you get 20 a season, I feel like the platinum players are going to have an issue, especially if you're just plat at like the beginning of a season. Like I feel like there are a good chunk of people that are in plat, but I'm sure they'll figure it out as they go along. I actually do have a good bit of faith in the company, even though it may not seem like it. They haven't really messed up really anything with the game. Everything has all been pretty consistent with other hero shooters. Alright, well, looking at the video, is the top comment says, anybody above gold worrying about this is not that smart, lol. Now, I disagree with this. I feel like as long as you end up in gold or below, you would have an issue with this. Honestly, if you're plat, I feel like you could have an issue with this even for a bit. At least if they did end up adding more of these, I feel like. It was just the 8 right now, honestly, that's a fair statement. And the second top comment says, it's just for gold and they're limited. I said that in the video, dude. And the next top comment says, for context, I'm Eternal on PlayStation, so a gamer. For sure, let's go. Most streamers are a part of the top 1% of players in the game. Literally, they cannot understand how bad players at Bronze and Silver are and how these Chrono Shield cards could lead to them ranking up, playing against a few people who didn't need the cards, learning moves they hadn't thought of or wouldn't have been able to see in Bronze 3. I'm so tired of streamers taking their 1% take and saying it like they speak for everyone. Yeah, the streamers are very competitive. If they're in the top 1%, they're of course going to look at it competitively. They have a high competitive integrity. I actually totally agree with this. It does seem a little virtue signal-y, but I do have to say that a lot of the top 1% still does engage with gold and plat at the very beginning of the season. Not that it really matters, but say if someone at the very beginning of the season was able to climb up to plat, there were a bunch of these cards, then they would have to deal with it, especially with stream snipers and whatnot. But honestly, it doesn't really seem like that big of an issue, especially now with the 8, of course. I don't know why I have to keep repeating that there's only 8 cards, right? But it is an important part. Like if there were 20, it would be different. But of course, with just the 8, it's fine. And the next comment, this will be the last comment I look at. I think this is a dumb take. Did no one learn the lesson with the rank reset overreaction? Let the devs on Marvel Rival do what they think is best. They have 99.9 ongoing % more data than you, and I promise you they are taking way more information into account than you are. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they do what is best to make money. I definitely agree with that. But of course, to make money, you're going to have to make a good game. So I see where you're coming from. Anyone above gold rank literally cannot understand how bad some players are and how much they need these. I mean, do they really need these? I mean, you're going to learn from your losses anyways. I mean, it is mostly just like I don't know if it's a dopamine thing, like how bad it feels when you do lose and see that you lose your RP. You do feel that for sure. So these could be good for the game, again, as long as they don't add too many and they're free. You'll watch flats. You must have seen Bronze Emma video. Dude had 70 hours in Emma, 35% win rate, and he was still in Bronze 3. Yep, there are really bad players that have never played a FPS shooter in their life, but that's not the end of it. Whoa, don't remove me. I'm still chatting. But that's not the end of it. Since he's in Bronze 3, he's not only playing against people just as bad as him, so how can he learn? There's a lot that you can learn from the game outside of what you see other people doing. But I do agree that when you face someone that's better than you, you do tend to learn more from them than just by beating people that are worse than you. However, this player also was just really bad, and hence everyone was better than him anyways, so I don't really know if he needs to be in silver to really learn. I just don't know if that's a good take or not. Let the bronze players get up to silver, that way they're not just playing with a bunch of bad people learning bad moves. I mean, again, maybe this is true. I mean, like, what do I know, right? I feel like a lot of what I learned about, like, any hero shooter that I've played was probably on YouTube and just playing the game myself. And I mean, maybe not everyone's experience is always the same, right? Get some people out of quick play so they're able to add some flavor into competitive. And yeah, I guess that is the whole idea of the Chrono Shield cards, right? Is to make people less scared of ranked. I feel like that's what the Chrono Shield in general was all about. I don't really know what you mean by flavor. You mean like just being bad? I think what he means is just like adding more people, which is cool. But okay, yeah. So I would say, yeah, I probably was overreacting and did not really need to worry about it as much as I was. But I do hope everyone understands the concern that the better players have over this. Like they see something like this and they worry that maybe more is going to happen. More is going to come. Maybe they add a bunch more Chrono Shield cards and the competitive integrity will just be ruined. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. I would say ranked is not ruined yet, and I think it makes sense that it would turn a few heads. But so far, we're in the clear. Now, I would be interested in seeing y'all's opinion on this, and maybe I'll make another video talking about it, who knows. Alright, see ya.